Welcome, welcome to this moment, to this breath, to gratitude, insight, gratitude. Really, this week I'm diving into insights, particularly my own insight and celebrating others. Sometimes I like hearing other people's insights about me, but I like them to ask permission first. I must admit that. I don't know how you feel about other people's insights. So what brought this theme up is because I was so excited about in the larger group, the 100 of us or so that meditate together. And meditate on the beauty of needs, combining the two of them together. Sorry, I had to clarify that. Is an insight somebody had in the chat. And I'm sure people have tons of insights, but this person was generous enough to share it. And I love that they shared their insight, because that's why I do this. I don't want to tell people what to do. I don't want to curate their meditation. I want people to have insights. I want people to look at themselves and find something in themselves that's like gonna get to know themselves a little bit better. For example, this in insights in particular, I'm asking myself lots of questions about my relationship with authority, and when do I give away my power when I perceive somebody in authority. And that's another topic. But it comes with a question like, what is this to you, Barbara? What are the needs met when you do this? And is that really? I'm not I'm not I'm not going to explore that now because I really just want to be grateful for the insights that I've had and to continue to let those insights evolve and to notice them and name them. Because so often I'll say, oh my God, I can't believe you're still doing this. You should have compassion for yourself by now or whatever. And, you know, whatever reason that you're doing this. But the insights I feel so grateful for in myself and other people. I love it when other people have insights. And sometimes they resonate with me like, oh yeah, I do the same thing. And other times I'm just like, wow, that's profound. I'm so glad that you experienced that. So staying with this gratitude for insight for yourself, finding it, and if it's easier for it, I came into it through a beloved. So, and if you need to start, like if you've been talking to somebody lately and they had this insight that you contributed to or not, just, it could be the insight, like, I just want to be listened to. That's the insight they have. It's like, oh, okay. So consider that. And can you celebrate that? Can you have gratitude for it? I don't know. It sounds like I'm making you say thank you for it. It's a possibility. It's a possibility because it's so easy for our brains to track what hasn't happened, to really focus on the negative. Can we celebrate either our insights, ourselves as our beloved, or a friend? You don't have to find one of your own. Focus on what it feels like when somebody you love or even yourself. I've been having too many insights around the topic of authority, perceived authority. Too many to mention. Too many to mention. And I feel really grateful for the questions, for the continued slowing down and exploring. How do we find out more about ourselves? Sometimes having a dialogue with that insight. That doing the, needs met and unmet is an insight dialogue. And right now it's all about gratitude. It's all about like experiencing the feeling when that need is met of a beloved having insights or yourself, what can give you insights. Just stay with that. Again, back to your breath, back to this moment. What's your body feeling like when you contemplate gratitude for insights? Focusing on, one insight that you might have had in your entire life. Doesn't have to be lately. Or it could be celebrating a friend. And it takes, for me, it takes really a willingness to lean in to our stories that we hold so strong, or other people to do the same. To really differentiate between, like, what am I telling myself, to what's actually going on in this moment, in this breath. That's where a lot of my insights come from. I don't know about you. And, we can experience it right now for ourselves, for our loved ones. What is it that gives us more insights? Often for me, questions, open questions that are not, I'll ask myself a question, and then I'll have a dialogue with myself. And sometimes people listen to that dialogue with myself, and I call it empathy. It's a formal practice that people do for weeks at a time. And listening to that dialogue, what's going on inside us, and having somebody else hear it. And then seeing people as they pass you in the street, as you email them, and wish for them insights as well. May you be able to unravel your story and find out what you truly need. It's not easy sometimes. It's not easy oftentimes. And sending them some grace. Insight, gratitude. Imagining others in the world that we see, that we don't know very well. It's like getting these big ahas, somehow shaking up their story enough that the flow is going on in a little different direction, moving a rock in the stream just a little bit. And then, and then, whew, something happened to, yeah, and with people that are, something happened differently with somebody that in a position of world power that's like, oh, this is helping me shift my story about them, that this one thing was done. And it brought chills to me. It touched me very, very deeply. And I am so grateful that my story is now that there was an insight that got them to do something differently than I would have expected. And it's my story. I don't know if it's actually true. And it's how much it's based on how much I value insight. They did something that surprised me. I notice I'm speaking a lot. When I'm tearing up, I'm speaking a little bit lower. So I will try to increase my voice a little bit. And see if you can have insight into people that are really hard to love. And then extend it out to all beings. What would the world be like? And we took more time to slow down and ask ourselves questions about what's going on inside of ourselves with the stories. And give ourselves and others a little bit of grace for if they're not having the insights that we would like them to have. Or maybe I need the grace when I suffer wanting them to have more insights. Thank you so much. One breath at a time.